Hello, this is Retreat Briefing in April 25th. It's Thursday, and today's thumbnail is Bitcoin 10 years worth selling pressure coming, and when would correction end? So comparing to yesterday, Bitcoin dropped about 3 to 4% in 11 a.m. today, and the Bitcoin selling pressure, or those geopolitical issues such as wars, are now still happening. So I think the overall crypto market is having a long correction right now, and nobody knows when would this last, but I personally think that it will last until this month. And now, just to start, we have a Bitcoin's daily chart. And you can notice that here, this white line, 59.150, so 59.15K, is having a good support. And I wish this line doesn't break, and which I told you last week, and we had a 3 top pattern right here, and the market movers are trying to go down, make the price go down, but it is now maintaining quite well, and we need to see who will gonna eventually win. And this is a premium chart for the Bitcoin in 11 a.m. today, and right here, starting from yesterday, we have an S2 and SB signal, and now it started to drop all the way down. So by looking at the premium chart, it seems like it's difficult to expect a big increase right now. So we will gonna have a look at later where it's gonna fall, or if this place has a possibility to rebound. And this is a dominance chart for today's morning, and since the Bitcoin and Ethereum's dominance decreased, Bitcoin and altcoins dominance decreased, Tether dominance increased. So, except for a few coins, like almost every coin are now having a correction, so it is going down, and the market is having a fear where these coins will drop. And this is a Goya Dominance 1 chart, and our Goya Dominance 1 also is pointing a minus 10 points at 11 a.m. and the overall trend went all the way down and moving in sideways. So we need to see whether market movers will decrease more or give a support and rebound later. And this is a liquidation heat map for last 24 hours. And comparing to yesterday, we had a $208 million liquidated, and recently we did not have much liquidation going over $200 million, so that is quite a lot. And if you look at the portion, it's $170 million of long positions were liquidated, so it's almost 5 times more than the short positions liquidation. And in recent 4 hours, we had a continuous drop, so the long positions got liquidated a lot. So let's have a look at whether it had rebounded starting from the afternoon or about nighttime. And this is a liquidation heat map for the Bitcoin, and when it dropped in yesterday right here, it is moving in sideways. And up here we have an 65.8K, and down here is 63.5K. So there are assets now gathering. So maybe it will shake around these area. And this is an Ethereum's liquidation heat map, and also it fell with the Bitcoin, and now it's moving in sideways. And you can see over here 3.25K up there, and down here about 3.1K there's our monies are gathering right now, positions. So we need to see whether it goes down first or up first. And this week we have a big issue, which is tomorrow's core PCE price index. And tonight we have an initial jobless claims, but I think that would be, the tomorrow's main event seems more important since people are going to talk more about the interest rate combining with these indexes. So if the interest rate cut keeps delayed, the stock market and the overall investment market will now get shrinked. And this is which I mentioned in the thumbnail, the 10 years selling pressure. So in 2014, there was a Mount Gox, which is a company was broken by the hacking. And the members are there now starting to get right here. The defunct crypto exchange will distribute 142k Bitcoin and 143 Bitcoin Cash to creditors later this year. So 10 years after its implosion due to a hack. Could weigh on Bitcoin prices, K33. So now they are returning these coins to the users. And I personally don't think that this enormous coins will just get distributed at once, but if it gets distributed now, it will start to impact the market since people are gonna try to sell. And I think Bitcoin is hanging well, but after this it will definitely have some impact. And this was a very famous bad news in the crypto market, so it is now came in the site, so always watch out. And this is a RSI heat map for today. And you can see that overall cryptos are at the middle and at this weak area. So always when I watch this RSI heat map, I told you that watch for the coins that might have an rebound. So select well with those coins and to respond to it. And now let's have a look at the several cryptos with our Goya Premium chart. So let's start with Bitcoin. So the Goya Dominance 1 at 6 p.m. it's still moving in sideways around 3 points. And the gap between the score chart and the market price got narrowed, and now it's moving along. But still, the score chart is slightly under the Goya line, so maybe we'll get a little bit more down. So right here, if you look at this is when it got sudden drop. So it's about yesterday's, 11 p.m. So just before today, it had a big drop, and now it moved in sideways, and we got an L signal, but I think the best is to touch the Goya line with an L signal since we have S2 already remaining at there. So probably we need to check whether it meets the Goya line and then drop back, and always think of possibility to increase half if it rebounds almost here. So if it rebounds, I think it will go all the way up there, but if it gets resisted, then the real 3 top pattern will now start. So if you press SR, so before this big drop is a first resist 66.7k, and around 67k there are 2 more resist lines, and the support line, which is the most important, it's a few hours before. It's 5 a.m. today, the lowest point 63.5k, and I still think that this price is quite high. So if it gets supported by here, then the Bitcoin will probably defend its price well even in later. And I think institutions will not let it just drop all the way down under 50k, since there are a lot of users in the Bitcoin spot ETFs. And this is for Ethereum, and the score chart and the market price chart just met and it's moving together. So same as Bitcoin, dropped, moved in sideways and got an L signal, so it is maintaining its place, and the Goya line came all the way down in order to meet them. And after, when it touches the Goya line, that is a important place also. So if you press SR right here, when it had a big drop, 3.1K is a first and second support, and the resist is all the way up here before it falls. And always, I told you here, since it touched here, so I'm not really sure. So always these half lines are acting something resist or support or anything. So think of those long candles half line as it's a breaking point always. Now let's have a look at Ripple. Now the market price dropped even more than the score chart, so it's moving in sideways. But comparing to the others, I think Ripple is not that impacted much. So yeah, it's still much, but yeah, not as much as Ethereum or Bitcoin. So with an S2 SBS, it went down, moved in sideways. Now Goya line still coming down, and we got an L signal, got an 2+ candles. So maybe it's trying to touch it, but according to the trading view, now it got really small. So only tails are left. Maybe it will go down and go up there once again. So always think of moving along the Goya line. And SR, you can see that SR is way much narrower than others. So 0.518 is a first and second support. And right here, before falling, 0.547 is a first resist, second resist here, third resist here. And finally, let's have a look at Dogecoin. So the market prices keep moving over the Goya line, I mean the score chart, but it got impacted, so now it came all the way down to here. So if you look at here, we had 4 continuous big downward candles, and now it is moving in sideways, but with a little bit downward slope. So we have an L signal, but I think that is not impacting very much. So maybe it will just go down slightly and wait for the Goya line to come down, I think. So if you press SR, easy, this line here, the long tail, it's a first and second support, 0.148. And before falling, there's a resist line over here. And think of these line as another step that we need to go overcome in order to increase. So it's a very difficult time right now for the spot traders, I think. And also to the futures, they will having a confusing time right now. So always watch out when you trade, use low leverage, and watch the Goya Premium chart well in order to have a safe trading. So thank you for listening to the briefing, and I hope you guys to have a successful trading. So thank you. Bye.